Thousands of hopeful Italian citizenship applicants suddenly found themselves stuck in limbo when Italy's Law 74 passed in March 2025. But there's a twist no one saw coming. Italian courts are fighting back, and your dream of citizenship might not be lost after all. Welcome back to the Liberty Mundo channel, where we help high net worth individuals protect their assets, secure multiple citizenships, and legally minimize taxes. Contact us for personalized strategies. Back in March, the Italian government pulled what many felt was a surprise attack on anyone seeking to claim citizenship by descent. They pushed through an emergency decree, a legal fast-track, that brought citizenship applications to a grinding halt. This wasn't some minor policy change or small tweak. It was an overhaul that left multitudes of people stranded, many of them already deep in the process, some just weeks away from long-awaited consulate appointments. Law 74 brought new, strict limits on how far back you could trace your Italian ancestry. But what stung most was that it didn't just apply to new applicants. It wiped out the hopes of people already several years into the process. Imagine waiting 5 years for a consulate appointment, something completely normal, only to be told, sorry, new rules right before your appointment. That's the reality thousands faced after spending years and thousands of dollars tracking down documents, only to watch their ancestral rights erased overnight. The government insisted they weren't applying the law retroactively, but applicants quickly discovered otherwise. Many legitimate claims under the old system were outright rejected, all thanks to a bureaucratic sweep of the pen. If that sounds unfair, the Italian courts agree. 2 major legal cases are now challenging Law 74, and each could completely reshape the citizenship landscape. The first case questions a philosophical foundation. Does Italy's traditional method of allowing citizenship to pass endlessly down the generations align with the Constitution? Should people whose ancestors left Italy over a century ago really have the same rights as someone living there today? The Constitutional Court looked at whether unlimited generational descent is appropriate for modern Italy. Strangely, the government failed to submit its own defense in time. The ruling will come out soon, but this case is more about the theoretical framework than the immediate crisis facing blocked applicants. The second court case, however, is where real hope lies. In Turin, just a day after the first case, a judge challenged Law 74 directly, asking Italy's top court to examine its constitutionality. This isn't academic. The Turin case is about people whose applications were upended because they couldn't get a consulate appointment on time, a process that has, for many, always felt about as likely as winning the lottery. The case questions whether it's fair to change the rules on people who already started the process, whether children should lose citizenship due to their parents' status, and whether the tiny protections for in-process applicants are enough. In simple terms, this is about justice for the real people who were caught in the middle. So what does all this mean for your citizenship hopes? There's good news for children born before March 28, 2025, the day the law took effect. They're likely to be grandfathered in under the old citizenship rules. According to principles that have guided Italian law for decades, citizenship is a right acquired at birth and can't be retroactively stripped away just because politicians change their minds in 2025. Courts are already indicating that your blood right to citizenship still carries legal weight. If you were already starting your application, gathering documents, waiting for an appointment, or halfway through, you're exactly the kind of person the Turin case is fighting for. Those hours spent collecting and certifying documents weren't wasted. You may need to switch from applying through the consulate to bringing your case before an Italian court, but your journey isn't over. If you haven't started yet, now is the time to act. When the Constitutional Court rulings come, there will be a flood of new applicants, and those who already have their paperwork in order will be at the front of the line. Some Italian lawyers are advising clients to file court cases now, even before any rulings are announced, because Italian courts can uphold citizenship rights regardless of what politicians do. There's also a special opportunity for what are known as 1948 cases, those whose claim to citizenship comes through a female ancestor who gave birth before that year. Judges, already used to handling these cases in court instead of at consulates, are now more receptive than ever because Law 74 hardly gave anyone time to finish their applications. So if this applies to you, courts are listening. What can you do right now? Start gathering your documents, birth certificates, marriage records, naturalization papers, apostilles, translations. When the door reopens, people with documents in hand will be ready, and the rest will lose valuable time. Identify an Italian attorney who's familiar with Law 74 and is actively fighting these court cases. This isn't the job for a general lawyer. You want someone who can file your case where your ancestor was born, letting you skip the overburdened consulate system. If you were already applying before the new law kicked in, collect proof, screenshots of appointment systems, emails with consulates, anything that shows you were on your way when the rules changed. Courts want to see evidence that you weren't just thinking about applying, you were genuinely engaged. Above all, don't wait for the court's final decisions before acting. Be ready ahead of time, because Italy isn't going to send you an invitation if you suddenly qualify. You have to be proactive to keep your place in line and claim your rights as soon as the window opens. The current legal battles show that the courts in Italy still care about fairness, even when governments make arbitrary decisions. The judge who referred Law 74 to the Constitutional Court made it clear. Governments cannot simply change the rules and ignore the lives hanging in the balance. There are genuine reasons for optimism. Italian courts have often stepped in to protect individual rights. The Constitutional Court is giving this matter the seriousness it deserves. More judges are questioning the fairness of Law 74 every day. The momentum is shifting toward those who lost their chance to apply. If you want to reduce your taxes to single digits, make your assets impossible for anyone to touch, and gain more freedom with second citizenships, get in touch with Mundo and book a consultation call. We will help you develop a complete blueprint to organize your life to safeguard your wealth and your freedom. Follow the link in the description for more details. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.